Hello, boys and girls, it's Miss Fife, and today is April 6th, although this document is titled April 7th because the days are starting to run together, and my apologies, but you are going to turn this in before April 7th. We're going to start today's lesson about simple sentences, again with the helping verbs. Again, Miss Fife? Yes, again, because I've been reviewing your assignments, and I see that a lot of you are not identifying the helping verbs as part of the complete verb. So to reiterate what I've said in the other lessons, when you are doing sentence identification, you are looking for the main verb, the action, the idea, and then you are going to see if there are any helping verbs that come before, because helping verbs join main verbs, and they sometimes assign time or need to that verb itself. So you should do this, you must do that, that would be your need to do it soon. And the other is was and were, been, do, did. They assign a time, so they help you with the verb tense. So what I am assigning for you today is something a little different, a little more creative. I'm going to ask you to present these helping verbs in your very own creative way. That could be similar to the video I sent you with the helping verb song, or it could be like the one that I just created, which is my dog Yogi singing the helping verbs. This is my older dog Yogi, who is 18 months old, not my new puppy. She will be starring in future videos. So what happens is you're going to go to your grids, which will have the 2020 remote learning, and then click on helping verbs. You can watch my version. The directions are all posted in Google Classroom, and then you're going to record your own response. Got it? You could do as I did, which was download a video from somewhere else, and I did that. I used an app. You may use an app as well if you wish. So that is your helping verb assignment. The next part of this assignment is back to the sentence identification strategy. At the top of the paper, it asks you to put your name. Please do that. This is Simple Sentence Lesson 1D. For this one, you're going to do this subject-verb identification procedure just as you have. You're going to underline the complete verb. That includes helping verbs in each sentence with 2 lines. And that's what I've been doing in red. And then the next thing you're going to do is underline the head word of the subject in each sentence with 1 line. Remember, we're working with sentences that can have compound nouns and compound verbs. That means there may be more than 1 verb and 1 noun in each sentence. That's why in the blank to the left, you're going to write the correct sentence formula for the sentence. I'm going to move down a little bit and just show you. This is the OG worksheet that we have from the beginning of time for the sentence writing strategy. These things over here, this is what Miss Fife uses to grade your work. So on this page where there are 10 questions or 10 sentences, over here on the side, I check off, did he identify the formula correctly? Did he identify all the subjects and all the verbs and underline them correctly? In which case you could get 3 points per sentence and get all 30 points. Okay, let's start with the first sentence. I'm going to do 4 of these for you, which means you'll have 6. And then on the next page, I'll do a couple. You don't have to use them. I do hope you use these from this page, though. But on the next page, you're creating your own sentence. Here we go. I should have a pet white rabbit at home to love. I am looking for the verb, the action, or state of being. And I see it. Have is the verb. Are there any helping verbs? Yes, should have. So I'm going to underline should have. That's the only verb in this sentence. Then I ask myself, who or what should have? And I know. It's I. So that's 1 subject, 1 verb. This is an SV. Let's try the next one. The shiny beetles could have flown 5 miles and landed on some trees. Looking for verbs, action. Flown is an action. It's a past tense action. Are there any helping verbs? Have is a helping verb. Could is a helping verb. So I'm going to use that whole phrase. Could have flown 5 miles and landed on some trees. Ooh, landed. Landed is also a verb. Flown and landed. Who or what could have flown and landed? The shiny beetles. What's the key head noun there? Beetles. So there's one subject, and in this sentence there are 2 verbs. Oh, I keep erasing my own stuff. SVV. I notice I'm getting a little crowded. I'm going to blow it up. Down dived the blue plane toward the earth. What is the verb in that sentence? Dived. Any helping verbs? No. Interesting. In this sentence, it looks like the verb comes before the noun. Who or what dived the blue plane? Keyword plane. That's my subject. That's my verb. But I still call this an SV. We're going to keep the S's first. I said I would do one more, right? I said I'd do 4 for you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder and can be misjudged easily. Looking for the verbs first. Is. Beauty is. Is my verb. Any helping verbs there? No. In the eye of the beholder and can be misjudged. Ooh, I like that. Misjudged. Any helping verbs? Yes, can be. Can be misjudged. That's all one verb. That's one of my verbs. That's one of my verbs. What can be misjudged and what is? Beauty. So for this sentence, we have an SVV. Are you getting it? So if you're having trouble even as I'm going along with the helping verbs, you might have to go back to the list and just see. I think could is one, or I think can is one. Then go ahead and look. It's right up there on the top. Moving down. Here what we're doing is you're going to make each of the following into a simple sentence that matches the listed formula. You do the subject-verb identification procedure on each sentence, underlining the complete verb with 2 lines and the head word of the subject with 1 line. I did notice also last week that there was some confusion about the predicate versus the complete verb. A predicate contains all of the second half of the sentence when we were doing, say, the brain pop. But in this case, we're just looking for the helping verbs and verbs in the sentence. The first sentence they had was an SVV, and they gave the sentence, "The storm toppled several trees and damaged our roof." Toppled and damaged were the verbs, and the subject was the storm. Let's try this one. Jeff. So we already have a subject. I'm going to keep Jeff as our subject. Jeff is our subject. And I'll write in black just because the rest of it's in black. Actually, I'm going to make these lines really big. SVV. And Jeff is our subject. You see how I made it larger so it would be easier to write on? I wish you would do that. Let's see, what can we say about Jeff? Jeff was... Okay. Jeff was tired and hungry. After the game. Okay, Jeff was my subject, and I have two verbs. Was tired is one, and hungry is another, because you have hunger. It's a thing. A verb. All right, let's try the next one. An apple, verb, verb. Okay, an apple, let's see, what can an apple do? Let's say an apple sat on the table and turned brown. All right, so we've got our subject and two verbs. Let's identify our verbs. What are the actions? Sat and it turned. Who or what sat and turned? The apple. All right, the rest of this is for you. I don't think your sentences will be just like mine. You're going to move your way through the different sentence types. Right, the last part of today's assignment. So you have your flip grid. You have these 2 pages you're going to do. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to participate in the Kahoot challenge one more time. Here's why. We are going to have a quiz on Wednesday. And the quiz on Wednesday is very similar to the Kahoot. Tuesday, you'll do a quiz review. Wednesday, you'll have an open note quiz. So I need you to be working hard and preparing for that, and that will be our last grade for the marking period. Miss you guys.